Let us solve this question. It's a JAMB pass question on indices. However, this can also help students preparing for their SSCE examination. So now we have 1 plus 3 root x minus 3 equals to 4. Now, for you to solve this question, I'd like to highlight some basic laws of indices that you're expected to know. First of all, you must know that if you have a raised power m times a raised power n, just add the powers together. Since they are the same base, it will be a raised power m plus n. The same thing if it is division. All you need to do is to add the power, so it will be a raised power m minus n. I mean, you subtract the power if it is division. Another rule you should know, another law of indices you should know, is that if you have a raised power m and then n like this, you have to multiply. It will be a raised power m times n, or mn is the same thing. Also, if you have a fraction as your power like this, a raised power m over n, it will become n root a raised to power m. Okay, so if you peradventure have a over b raised to power minus m over n, you can just interchange this as b. You can interchange this to be b over a raised to power m over n. Then with that, you are good to go. Another rule you should know is when you have a raised power minus 1, the same thing as 1 over a raised power 1. If it is 2 that is here, to be a raised power 2, and so on. So these are the basic rules of indices that you are expected to know, and you'll be applying them as the situation demands. So it's very important that you know the laws of indices before attempting question on indices. Once you know these laws and you know how to apply them, then you don't have much problem to deal with in indices. All right, let's solve this indices past question on JAMB, and this can also be helpful for those writing WAEC. So here we want to solve this question, this past question. 1 plus 3 root x minus 3 equals to 4. So the first thing we need to do is that we take this one to the other side. So we have 3 root x minus 3 equals to 4 minus 1. So that we have 3 root x minus 3 equals to 3. Right here now, we have to look at which of the laws of indices will help us resolve this question. So that's very important. You must know the law of indices that will help you resolve your question. So from here, let's also reverse this cube root, okay, using this rule here, and that will become x minus 3 raised to power 1 over 3 equals to 3. You can recall that if you have a raised power m over n, it will become n root a raised power m. Okay, so that's the rule I apply here. So I just reverse this cube root. It became 1 over 3. Also, this becomes this, and this also becomes this. But depending on the situation at hand, the situation we have at hand requires that we reverse it backwards like this. So you can take, the cube of 3 here to eliminate this 1 over 3. So you have x minus 3 equals to 3 raised to power 3. That means x minus 3 equals to 27. All right, 3 raised to power 3 is 27. So finally, x will be equals to 27 plus 3. Then x is 30. So this is the final answer to this question. You can see that it's very simple. So most of the time, all you need to know is knowing the rule or the indices rule that will help you resolve your question. Once that is settled, you don't have any problem handling indices question. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos like this.